So today's video we are going to see linear differential equations with constant coefficients and how to find the particular integral. In the earlier video we had seen how to find the complementary function. Just for a brief recap, linear differential equations in a concise form can be written in this way, where f of d can be written as a naught d raised to n plus a1 d raised to n minus 1 plus and so on plus an y is equal to qx, where a0, a1 and so on up to an are constants and this q obviously is a function of x. So here d of course is the operator d, which stands for d by dx. The complete solution of the linear differential equations with constant coefficients is given by y is equal to cf plus pi, where cf is the complementary function and pi is the particular integral. In the previous video we have seen all the different cases for finding out the pf, for finding out the cf, and also for the solved examples based upon the same. So in today's video we are going to focus upon the pi, that means the different cases based upon the value of q, what are the different cases and how to find the pi for the same. So if f of dy is equal to qx, then the particular integral is given by 1 upon f of d into qx, and based upon the value of qx, that means what is the function that qx stands for, then according to that we have the rules for finding out the particular integral. If qx is equal to 0, then pi will be equal to 0. That is why in the earlier examples which we saw for the homogeneous linear differential equations, where the RHS was 0, the solution was the complementary function itself. There was no need to find the pi because the particular integral in that case is obviously equal to 0. So we shall now develop the cases one by one. So the first case, case 1, let us say that qx is equal to e raised to ax. So in that case, the rule for the pi is equal to 1 upon fd e raised to ax is equal to 1 upon f of a. That means you will replace d by a into e raised to ax, provided this denominator is not equal to 0. That means f of a should not be equal to 0. Now supposing f of a is equal to 0, then how to find out the pi? Suppose if f of a equals to 0, that means this condition fails, that f of a not equal to 0, then how we have to find out the pi? So in that particular case, the pi is given by x into 1 upon f d dash. That means you have to differentiate that function f of d, right? E raised to ax is equal to x into, once again you are going to replace the d term over here by a. So I will write f dash a into e raised to ax. And again the condition that has to be satisfied is that the denominator should not be equal to 0. Supposing that condition also fails, that means f dash of a is equal to 0. So I'll just write over here f dash a is equal to 0. If this happens, then in that case pi is equal to x square into 1 upon f double dash a into e raised to ax, provided once again over here this f double dash a should not be equal to 0, and so on. So we have to continue the series like this. If this is equal to 0, then next round we will have f triple dash, that means third derivative, and so on. So these are the cases. Now we will see the solved example. That means I will solve the example for you based upon this case. Now we are doing the second example, where once again the RHS, that is the function q in this case, is e raised to x, and again we are going to use the rule for finding out the particular integral. Complementary function has already been found out, so we are finding out the auxiliary equation. M square plus m minus 2 is equal to 0. Find out the roots of the auxiliary equation and write the CF from the rule for the roots. In this case the roots are real and distinct. So now we are going to focus upon finding out the PI. So once again we will write like this: PI is equal to 1 upon FD. So 1 upon FD in this case is d square plus d minus 2 e raised to x. So as per the rule, we have to substitute the value of a in place of d. In this particular case, a is 1. Why? Because function is e raised to x. So if you compare it with e raised to ax, then therefore we find that the value of a is 1. So we will substitute the value of a over here. So this will be 1 square plus 1 minus 2, and then we find out what happens. This term is equal to 0. That means we are getting f of a is equal to f of 1 in this case, which is equal to 0. So now we are going to apply the rule when f of a is equal to 0. So therefore pi will be equal to x into 1 upon f dash of d into, in our case, e raised to x is e raised to x. This is as per the rule. So you are requested to rewind the video and go to that rule. This is equal to x into 1 upon, now f dash of d. So we are going to differentiate the function f of d. So in this case we are just going to write 2d plus 1 e raised to x, and now we are going to substitute in place of d again the value of a. So this will give us x into 1 upon 2 into 1 plus 1, right? So this is equal to x upon 3, x into e raised to x, and here also e raised to x. So x upon 3 into e raised to x, that is the particular integral for this particular sum. So when you add the CF and the PI, then you will write the general solution of the given differential equation. So here we have got the CF, that was C1 e raised to minus 2x plus C2 e raised to x, and now we have of course found out the PI as well. So the PI which we obtained is x e raised to x divided by 3. So the complete solution of the given differential equation will be the CF plus the PI, and this will be equal to y is equal to C1 e raised to minus 2x plus C2 e raised to x plus x into e raised to x divided by 3, and that gives you the complete solution of the given linear differential equation with constant coefficients. So now we are going to see case 2, particular integral if the given function is either sine or cosine function. General formula for pi is like this. So in this particular case, pi is equal to 1 upon f of d square sine ax plus b, or it can be cos ax plus b, either sine or cos. In this case you are going to replace this d square with minus a square. That will give you the particular integral of the sine or cosine function, but provided that this denominator is not equal to 0. That means f of minus a square should not be equal to 0. But supposing that it is 0, supposing f of minus a square is equal to 0, then in this particular case what you have to do, pi is equal to x into 1 upon f dash d square. First you will find out the derivative. Okay, sin ax plus b or cos ax plus b, and after that over here once again you will substitute minus a square. So this will give you x 1 upon f dash minus a square sin ax plus b, or it might be cos ax plus b. So it might be or cos ax plus b as well. Again, likewise, just as we did for the earlier case in e raised to x. So supposing once again this is also equal to 0. So supposing if f dash minus a square is equal to 0, then in that particular case the pi is going to be equal to x square, second derivative, again you will substitute over there minus a square sin ax plus b, or it might be cos ax plus b. For both you have to, for both either sine or cosine function, you have to follow the same procedure. Okay, so now we will do the supporting example based upon this particular case. So now we will see the supporting example for case 2. The RHS is sin x. Already I have found out the CF. For finding out the CF, once again by now you must be familiar with the methods of finding out the CF. But if you want to just revise, then you can refer to the earlier video for the complementary function and just find out how this CF was found. So we will now focus upon finding out the PI. So PI is equal to 1 upon d square plus d minus 2 sin x. So here let us just compare this sin x to the general form sin of ax plus b. So if you compare to the general form, what you will find out, that over here the value of a is 1 and the value of b is 0. So in our case now a is equal to 1. So like it was told in the formula, we are going to replace d square by minus a square. So in this case we are going to replace by minus 1. That means we are going to replace this d square by, in a is 1 for us, so we are going to replace d square by minus 1. So pi is equal to 1 upon minus 1 plus d minus 2 sin x. So this is equal to, this will be equal to 1 upon d minus 3 sin x. Now we are going to rationalize the denominator. So to rationalize the denominator, we will write like this: d plus 3 divided by, rationalizing it, we are going to multiply and divide in the denominator by d plus 3. So here we will get d square minus 9 sin x. And now what we are going to do, we are going to replace d square by, put d square is equal to minus 1. Why? Because we have to replace d square by minus a square, and in our problem minus a square value is minus 1. So therefore here we will put d square is equal to minus 1. So this will give us d plus 3 divided by minus 1 minus 9. So minus 1 minus 9 sin x. So this will give us, now what we will do, this d means nothing but derivative. So d of sin x, what is the meaning of that? D of sin x is cos x plus 3 sin x divided by, what is this? This is minus 10. So divided by minus 10. So this is the PI, particular integral of the given problem. So now we can write the complete solution of this particular problem. Already we have written the CF. Now just we have to add the PI, and once we add the PI, we are going to get the complete solution of the problem. So here we will write the complete solution now. Y is equal to CF plus PI. So c1 e raised to minus 2x plus c2 e raised to x, then minus 1 upon 10 into bracket we will write cos x plus 3 sin x, and this whole thing is the complete solution. CF plus PI is the complete solution of the given linear differential equation with constant coefficients when the right hand side is sin x. Now we are seeing case 3 in order to find the particular integral of the linear differential equation with constant coefficients. So here the right hand side, that is the function qx, is x raised to m. So m in this case is a positive integer. So in this particular type of function, what we have to do is this f of d has to be converted to this form 1 plus or minus phi of d by doing what? By taking the lowest degree term which is common in f of d outside, and you will get this particular expression. Once you get this expression, you have to take it to the numerator. That means you have to write like this: 1 plus or minus phi of d raised to minus 1 operate on x raised to m. And what you have to do, first you have to expand this binomially up to the nth degree. Why up to the mth degree? Sorry, in this case we have taken m up to the mth degree. Why up to the mth degree? Because the m plus 1th derivative of x raised to m will be 0. So that is why we have to expand this binomially. So expand binomially, and after expanding binomially, what we have to do? We have to operate x raised to m inside the expansion, where of course you are going to have the terms in d, where d is of course nothing but the derivative d by dx. So binomial expansions, which will be useful for you, which you may recollect, which you may not recollect. So I will just write 1 plus x raised to minus 1 is equal to 1 minus x plus x square minus x cube plus and so on. Then we have 1 minus x raised to minus 1, which is 1 plus x square plus x cube plus and so on. Then we have, similarly we can write 1 plus x raised to minus 2, let us say. This is equal to 1 minus 2x plus 3x square minus 4x cube plus and so on. Then further we may also write 1 minus x raised to minus 2 is equal to 1 plus 2x plus 3x square plus 4x cube plus and so on. Right, so this is the case 3, and now we shall see the supporting examples which are based on case 3. Now we are going to see the example based upon case 3. In the right hand side we have the function which is like 5x minus 2, so which is like x raised to m. CF is already found out. Again you can refer to the earlier video and see the methods for finding out the CF. So in this case the PI is equal to 1 upon d square minus 1 5x minus 2. So what we are going to do, as was told, we are going to write this as 1 minus d square, taking the minus sign outside, and 5x minus 2. Why? Because we want this function, this f of d, we want this function to be in which form? In that form, 1 plus or minus phi of d, right? So that then we can take it to the numerator, inverse, expand binomially, and then solve by operating this 5x minus 2. So this we will now take to the numerator and write it like this: 1 minus d square minus 1 5x minus 2. So we have to expand this particular expression binomially. So once again we will just do a recap. 1 minus x raised to minus 1 is equal to 1 plus x square plus and so on. So how we are going to write this? we are going to write this as 1 minus into bracket 1. Now x is d square in this particular case, so we will write this as 1 plus d square. See, d is d by dx, so by looking at this function itself I can make out that we are not going to go anything beyond the first derivative, so therefore I can just stop the expansion over here and write this as 5x minus 2. So this is equal to minus into the bracket. Now we are multiplying this inside, 1 multiplied by 5x minus 2 plus second derivative of all this, second derivative, see d square means second derivative is going to be 0, so no need to write it also. So this is equal to minus 5x minus 2, and this part is of course going to be 0 because it is the second derivative, so this will be equal to minus 5x plus 2, right? So this is the PI. So in this case CF already we had written, so the complete solution of the problem is going to be y is equal to c1 e raised to x plus c2 e raised to minus x minus 5x plus 2, and that is going to be the complete solution to this particular example. So just I will write like this. Now we will see case 4, where the RHS of the linear differential equations with constant coefficients is of the form e raised to x into v, where v is any function of x. So in this case the rule for the PI is 1 upon fd e raised to ax v is equal to e raised to ax into bracket 1 upon f of d plus a v. So you have to replace d with d plus a, and then depending upon the type of function that is given you will have to use that particular rule. So let us say for example this function is sine or cosine, then you will have to use the rule for sine or cosine. Or supposing this particular function is of the form x raised to m like in case 3, then you will have to use the rule for case 3. Now we are going to see the supporting example which is based upon this particular rule. So d square plus 2y is equal to, let's say, e raised to x square into e raised to 3x. So over here I am going to write the CF. CF is equal to, so we are just going to put d square plus 2 is equal to 0, solve it, so it comes out to be plus or minus root 2i, so imaginary roots. So this will be c1 cos root 2x plus c2 sine root 2x. So that is the CF. So if once again you can refer to the video, earlier video on finding out the complementary function, and refer to how to find out the CF complementary function if you don't recall it. Now for the PI, PI is equal to 1 upon d square plus 2 x square into e raised to 3x. So over here this particular function is of the case number 4, where you have got e raised to x into v. So what we have to do, we have to replace d by d plus a. So in this particular case, in this problem, what we will have to do, we will have to replace this d by d plus a. In this case a is equal to 3. See, remember it is e raised to x into v. So in this particular problem, just I will write over here, the function v is x square, so the other function is e raised to x. So therefore this will be equal to 1 upon, we will write like this, d plus 3 square plus 2, okay, and operated on this side we have to take e raised to 3x, operated x square. So this will be equal to e raised to 3x 1 upon d square plus 6d plus 11 x square. Now what we are going to do, so this function, this is of x raised to m form, that is case number 3. So we have to rewrite all this by writing like this, 1 upon, into bracket I will write 1 plus, isn't it, 6d divided by 11 plus d square divided by 11 x square. This is how we are going to write. Now to continue, we will write this as e raised to 3x divided by 11. Shift the denominator to the numerator, 6d divided by 11 plus d square divided by 11 raised to minus 1 x square. So this will be equal to e raised to 3x divided by 11. Now once again we are going to use binomial expansion, 1 plus x raised to minus 1. So 1 minus 6d by 11 plus d square by 11. Then plus this term has to be squared. So we are going to write this as 6d by 11 plus d square by 11 whole square plus and so on x square. So this is equal to e raised to 3x divided by 11 and into bracket. Now we will just open up the brackets. So 1 minus 6d divided by 11, then we will have minus d square divided by 11. Then next one will be, see, this is squared, so plus 36d square divided by 121. Now remaining terms in this particular expansion, they will go to the power 3 and power 4, and here we have to operate on x square. So the derivative beyond the second derivative does not exist. So I will stop writing these terms. This is equal plus and so on x square. Now we will further continue by operating. So this is equal to e raised to 3x divided by 11. Now we are operating this x square inside the bracket. So what I will do, just one more simplification I will do, because this is d square and d square. So 1 minus 6d divided by 11, and this one, see, minus d square by 11 plus 36d square upon 121. So minus 11 plus 36. So we will have plus 25d square divided by 121 x square. So this will now give us, this is equal to e raised to 3x divided by 11. Now operating inside the bracket, x square minus, see, d means d by dx. So d by dx of x square is 2x minus into 6. So this will be minus 12x divided by 11 plus second derivative of x square is 2. So this will be plus 50 divided by 121. So this is the PI for this particular sum. So therefore the complete solution in this particular case will be y is equal to c1 cos root 2x plus c2 sin root 2x. So this is the CF part, plus now the PI part which we had just now found out, e raised to 3x divided by 11 into bracket x square minus 12x divided by 11 plus 50 divided by 121. So this is the PI for case 4. So these are the 4 cases for finding out the particular integral.